Good afternoon. I'm Eric Koenig, Vice President of Strategic Marketing with Heritage Food Service. I'm here with Robin Ashton, and we're here to talk day 2 of the National Restaurant Association show. Day 1, fun, a lot of great information gained. Day 2, continuing the trend. Robin, what's been great about day 2 so far?
Well, I'm having a lot of fun today because I'm walking around just kind of keeping an eye on the broader picture of what I see going on in the food service business. I've been writing a lot in the Ashton report about how digital technologies, and let me define digital technologies. It's everything from mobile ordering to kiosk ordering to online ordering, for pickup, for takeout, for delivery. And I've been writing a lot about how with the big chains in the US and really globally, the incremental sales are really being driven by those things. So you see companies that have been very leading edge with that, like Domino's Pizza, but even Starbucks with their now mobile ordering where you can go into the store and pick things up. All those kinds of technologies. Chipotle had almost a 10% same-store sales increase, and they attributed most of it to getting their rewards program together, and rewards programs fit into that. That's the way they suck you in to being online with them.
Free burritos.
And it's just like Domino's. You can get your rewards points if you go into the store, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Okay, and so these are not things that really impact directly the equipment and supplies market, but they do impact the customers for the equipment and supplies market. And there is, we'll talk about in a second, there's some ways that E&S integrates with that. But you see that everywhere at this show. And I mean, that's been a specialty of the National Restaurant Association show for many years now. They do this whole tech side. It used to be just POS systems. Now it's like all of these ordering situations, and so I saw people that have gotten a lot of press that are kind of in this world this morning. I just happened to walk by their booth, and having covered booths forever in this world, I love to just walk into a booth and introduce myself and start asking questions. So,
That's your job.
Yeah, it's my job. So Itza started out as a restaurant concept that was kind of like a digital automat. Okay, like the old automat out of New York City. Okay, so you would digitally order or order on a kiosk in the store, and your food would appear in a little box, okay, in the wall, and you would take it and go. Okay, they shut down. They had 8 restaurants at one time, eight units. I think they're down to 1 that they use for beta testing, and now they're really a technology, equipment, software supplier to other operators. So you see chains like Roti here in Chicago, a Mediterranean chain, a number of others, generally smaller chains that are urban-based, where you have this kind of interaction where people go out for lunch and need to move fast. So they're selling their ordering technologies. There's also kitchen management involved in this, which gets quasi E&S because this is how the cooks in the kitchen know what to make.
Yep.
And then they still have their boxes. So and now they have shelves where you can go in and your food will be sitting on the shelf, and there'll be a little like hologram of you in the front of it and that kind of stuff. So it's just, everybody's having fun with that. They're probably burning money like crazy to develop this stuff, but it's really interesting. And all of the chains, it does in fact impact the equipment and supplies industry in this way. A lot of the capital spending budgets for the big chains is all going to digital.
Yep.
And so a lot of people are holding off on kitchen renovations, on replacing on cooking equipment and refrigeration and things like that, because they have to spend all this money on the digital technology.
Well, I mean, if you even just look at what McDonald's did in the purchase of that digital agency to drive what our customers need, what do they want, how do we interact with them? How do we create that personalized message within a McDonald's space?
And McDonald's is a really good case in point. So I think most of our viewers and will know that they have been into a McDonald's with the kiosks.
Yep.
Okay, those kiosks are 20 grand a pop. Okay, so that's more than a soft serve machine. Okay, and they have what, 3? Depending on, it's all dependent on the volume of the store.
Yeah.
They may have 2, they may have 3, they may have 4. Think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's taking money that's coming out of the equipment and supplies market pocket in some cases. The other thing that has done for them, and this is why they bought the company out of Israel that you're talking about, which really is for the drive-through and for mobile ordering, because it's AE. It's like, okay, once you order this stuff once, they're going to know who you are, and they're going to start suggesting, why don't you have an apple pie with that? Okay, so just be ready for that, because that's the whole point. The kiosks themselves, the average order out of a kiosk is 50 cents more per order than it is if somebody stands at a counter looking at the menu board. So they start amortizing those digital investments very quickly, and that's what's driving a lot of the incremental sales in this business. So that's what I've been keeping an eye on, just looking at all that.
So when we talk about the market in general, what are we hearing, around the equipment and supplies market?
Well, the equipment and supplies market is, first of all, we'll get back to the general market in a second, is doing its best to respond to that sort of thing. So, I mentioned the kitchen management programs for a reason. It's not very far from placing an order for a particular Domino's pizza. And that order comes up in front of the digital management system in the kitchen of a Domino's to tell them what to make. It's not that far from, say, that happening in McDonald's and somebody places an order for a hamburger and fries, and it interfaces with the Fry Master or Henny Penny fryer and drops the fry basket and times it so that those fries will be hot and crisp 30 seconds before the guy shows up at the drive-through window. So that's where this business is going, and you begin to see how the digital stuff interacts with the equipment side, other than just from a budget standpoint. I've seen a lot at this show too. I saw it at NAFM too, but it's really, because I'm paying attention more to that digital stuff. Yeah. So, I was over at one of the big beverage dispensing companies today, Lancer, I'll mention them. And they've got a thing where you can, because they all sell to the C-store market too, and all of that stuff is self-serve, just like it is in many QSRs. Well, they've got to have the interfaces so you can take your card and not have to even stick the thing in with the chip. You just, it's like automatic, and it goes through Apple Pay or PayPal or whatever you want it to, and that automatically dispenses your drink. Okay, so that's the way these things are starting to interface, and so the equipment and supplies companies themselves are having to spend a lot of R&D money on these capabilities. You talked about McDonald's buying the company out of Israel. Middleby earlier this year bought a company, Power Dynamics, that's helping them with those interfaces, with the AE side of it. And of course that's going to help cooks in kitchens too, because it's like, okay, you're Robin, and I know exactly how you use this combi to do this thing. So that's where things are going, but that's also where equipment and supplies companies are investing a lot of their R&D to match what the capital spending is going to be at these big chain folks later on. So, general market? Okay, we talked, Abby Weiss and I talked about that a lot yesterday. The first quarter was still very slow, but I talked to a number of people today, and this is just anecdotal, and we talked about what anecdotal means yesterday, that are having very good years so far. But it's like anything else. It's such a big business that it all depends how you're niched. So one of the people I talked to today, a ventilation company, is heavily tied into all of the big business and industry corporate kitchens that are being built by Facebook, by Google, by Intel, by Microsoft, you name it, okay? Uber, you know, they're all doing it. And they're having a great year. In fact, they can't build it fast enough, and they don't have enough manufacturing capacity to get the product out the door. Okay, so even in a very slow market, and remember, we didn't say it was negative, we said it was kind of flat. There are people that are doing great. And I ran into a major cooking equipment company. Well, they're a little more diverse than that, but that's part of their deal. And they had a great first quarter because of an order backlog from last year. So you've always got to put this stuff in perspective. And as we talked about yesterday, the anecdotal stuff that you get at a show like this is important because it fleshes out the data, the hard data part of it. But you have to play them off against each other. And the broad numbers are broader than the anecdotal. So you're going from the individual out to the universe. And part of the job of a forecaster is to figure out
read the tea leaves,
where the big part of it is. So I think, Eric, that takes us right into the ENS Summit forecast that is a joint project of Heritage Parts and the Ashton Report, which we're holding the 5th and 6th of August, Monday and Tuesday of August, at the Westin O'Hare in Chicago. We hope you will come. I'm going to show you a picture. You can go to the Ashton Report website, and there is a link there to register. You can also see it in my weekly newsletter every week, and come and spend your money, and then come to the, it's not free. Come and spend your money and find out what's going to happen in the equipment and supplies market next year, and we'll have a lot of fun at the same time. So Eric, thank you for sponsoring
you're welcome.
and hosting it and being our partner with this, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
So that's day 2 from the National Restaurant Association show. I'm Eric Koenig with Robin Ashton. Have a great day.
Have a great day.